Hey everybody, welcome to the Apocalypse, another B movie review. This was a little bit weird for me. I actually remember seeing this film when it originally came out a million years ago. My dad actually took me to see it in the theaters, and I couldn't have been more than like 8 years old or something like that. This is Terminal Island from 1973. It was directed by Stephanie Rothman. The writers were James Barnett, Charles S. Schwartz, and I think Stephanie Rothman again, starring uh, Don Marshall, Phyllis Davis, Edna Hartman, Martha Christian, Barbara Lee, Randy Boone, Sean Kennedy, and Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck from Magnum PI, and Roger E. Mosley, who also starred on Magnum PI. Basically, the premise is instead of sentencing killers to the death penalty, the government sends them to live on this island to fend for themselves. And basically, the prisoners kind of make a society for themselves. We mostly see the story through the eyes of Carmen, who's a new prisoner, or new, I guess I will use that word, a new prisoner, and she kind of has things explained to them by Dr. Milford, who's the character that Tom Selleck plays, who's he's probably the most sympathetic and easygoing of all the characters in the film. But basically, like I said, the prisoners have more or less formed a little society, kind of a camp, kind of a commune. But the commune is run by this evil guy named Bobby, I'm sorry, who's played by Sean Kenny. And Bobby kind of rules the camp with an iron fist. He makes everybody work hard. All the women have to work hard too, but they also have to sexually service the men. And he's just mean and cruel and egotistical, and he's smart, but like I said, he's also kind of an a-hole. Um, Basically, we find out that there are some other men on the island who have left the camp or are kind of living out in the woods or whatever, and they kind of come along and kind of rescue some of the female characters. And there's some fights, somebody gets killed, there's some confrontations, there's escapes and things like that. And eventually it leads to a big confrontation between, I guess, the good guys who live out in the woods and the Bobby and his evil guys. Um, let's see here. Up for what it is actually kind of an enjoyable movie. The acting is, just good enough to be professional. The directing isn't too bad for what it is. Um, it is an exploitation flick, so you got some violence, you got some gore, you get a little TNA. I think it's pretty funny that there are these alternating scenes where sometimes the female prisoners are wearing these really short shorts, and then sometimes they're wearing long pants, and then they're back to their short shorts again. And it really doesn't seem to be any sort of rhyme or reason to it. There's a few plot holes, nothing major, but there's a few scenes where you go, well, if these guys were smart enough to do this, why weren't these other guys smart enough to do this? And a few things like that. But it wasn't terrible. Uh, I gotta say, for what it is, it's a decent movie. Like I said, decent enough acting, okay plot, and I guess that's about it. I got to thank you very much for listening, and you have a good day.